What is going on YouTube? Hitterback making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video, we're going to be looking at Litecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum, as well as XRP to US dollar. We're also going to be looking at the current coin market cap as well as DueDEX. My apologies for yesterday's video coming out a little bit late. I got crazy busy and didn't have time to upload it until I came home from after work. But otherwise, in today's video specifically, I want to talk about some very interesting movements happening on the market. More so, I want to talk about how urgent I believe this big movement is coming and how quickly we're going to see this price explosion happen. I mean, I do know that we're seeing a lot of consolidation right now. This is mainly what I want to talk about. Like, if you look at this is a ton of just sideways movement. We're not seeing really any big volume movements. We're not seeing any big price drops or any price increases to extremely high levels. It's literally just sideways trading, and this ultimately will come to an end at some point or another, and that is what I want to talk about in today's episode. I understand that we've been on this for a very long time. I understand everything has been literally sideways trading, but this comes to an end if you watched yesterday's video. Otherwise, if you guys are new to the channel, definitely make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up. Remember to follow me on Twitter at CryptoVOfficial. This way, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can just head over there, DM me, whether it's about current coin market cap, cryptocurrency, stock market, anything of this sort, you can just head over there. Otherwise, let's jump into today's video. Alright guys, so yesterday's video came out slightly late, but it is still fairly important. I mean, I did show here, this was, I believe, Ethereum's chart right now, and you can see the downtrend with the bottom support, and you can see we had now three retestments of a big resistance up top here, and there is an extremely high chance we're going to be breaking bearish. I know we've had a ton of conversations in relevance to which way the markets are going to be moving. I know I've had tons and tons and tons of DMs and comments on my Patreon where we've had great conversations as to which direction we're going to be moving to, but ultimately we end up siding bearish, and I know that is probably going to affect most of you guys as we continue on in today's video. But ultimately we have to show you, it's very hard to predict the exact point of breakout on movements like this, but I'll try to help show it out, and ultimately I'll help you guys prepare yourselves for the big drops when they do hit. Now, out of the top 10 cryptos, we are once again starting to see sideways trading. We're not really seeing any coins really up. We're not really seeing coins down that much. I'd say on average it's about 1%. Nothing over the top, nothing too crazy, but ultimately just a mere, sideways movement or slow trend to the downside. But just otherwise, it's really just flatlined out. A ton of uncertainty right now. These ultimately will lead to some sort of big movement right now. But before I do that, if you guys haven't already, definitely make sure to join the Crypto Influencers $200 Bitcoin giveaway. The link to this is in the description down below. Instead of, or in regards to getting these over 16,000 subscribers, I decided to do another giveaway, as well as with everything going on. I thought it'd be just something to, just to kick back, to take your minds off things. So I am doing this giveaway. It is great. There's up to 7 ways to enter. We have now over 1,250 people that have entered the actual giveaway, with a total of 1,600 entries. Like I said, 7 ways to enter. Totally free to enter. I highly recommend taking advantage of this. So definitely click on the description down below. We have 11 days left. You gotta be in it to win it. It is literally free Bitcoin. It doesn't make sense to me why people don't take advantage of free Bitcoin giveaways. Like 1,200 people, I get it, but we have 16,000 people that are on the channel. So it makes no sense to me. Sign up. It is completely free. Check it out. Win $200 of Bitcoin. Go out, buy a Father's Day gift or something. I don't know. But otherwise, moving back into these, you can see what is starting to appear right now. You can see the slow correction to the downside right now. And I just want to pull up the Bitcoin chart as well. I want to show you guys the weekly here. Ultimately, we have 1 day and 13 hours left for us to figure out which direction we want to break to. You can see as I extend out, this pattern kind of is what looks like the DueDEX chart. If I was to draw this here, it's kind of like this mouth. But ultimately, we do not need this because of how big we have the charts already on Bitcoin. We have so much more history on the Bitcoin Coinbase chart than we do on DueDEX. So it's not fully accurate, but in relevance, this resistance up here is the most accurate when it comes to looking at DueDEX. Now, the reason I use DueDEX and the reason I'm getting ready for a big pop to the downside, now obviously the middle moving average should be on here, and I think we can add it, which is a pretty cool feature. Let's see. Moving average. I mean, I'm not seeing it right now, but add it, see what happens. This is not that great. I like the other one that we have on the Bitcoin chart on here on the Bitcoin. Weekly, you can see we have both the middle moving averages, the 35 and 100-day moving averages, the middle low, and the middle high low, whatever you want to call it. But ultimately, what I'm anticipating is, notice this, every time we hit a resistance up here, I don't know why this takes that away, but you see the one up here, 1, 2, and then 3, we end up shorting, or we end up breaking bearish and falling lower. And these are incredible drops in price. I mean, you can see from the start here, if we wanted to go down, this was an easy 18, if not all the way down to a 32% drop. We then have the next one that happened just a couple of days ago, or weeks ago, sorry, and we fell all the way down here, which was a 64% drop. Absolutely incredible. Ultimately, we need to see, and are most definitely going to see, a drop in price here. And even if we fall all the way down to this level right here, this is about 30%. Ultimately, having DueDEX available and signing up to DueDEX will allow us to short here. It will allow you guys to follow along with what I'm saying. So everything is in steps. I consider it like a toolbox. If you don't have certain tools, you're going to fall behind. So in order to prepare ourselves for this next drop, which is really just, I think, around the corner, as we hang out here longer and longer and longer, it builds up more uncertainty as we start to flatline out on the moving average, getting closer and closer to 50. Sorry, on the RSI, relative strength indicators, we're getting very close to potentially seeing the big break like we've seen in the past. Ultimately, it's very easy to set up for this. I do have a link to DueDEX in the description down below, but it's very simple to short cryptocurrency now that we have this readily available for us to use. Obviously, I did pre-fund my account right here. You can see 0.257, and I know the past couple of days, honestly, probably the past couple, week or two, we've been fairly stagnant, and I know you guys know this. There's really not much money to be made in a coin that doesn't move really below or above, I'd say, close to $9,000, 93. So with that knowledge, I mean, it's sideways movement. I'm a conservative trader. I don't like to make high-risk trades. So with that information available, we don't really make much money off of this, but I'm okay with the wait. Like, it doesn't bother me that I have to wait for movements like this. So when the time is right, and when we do see the pop to the downside, when we do see a pretty big drop all the way to 8,200, or if not all the way down to 6,800, we can short this coin. We could see, okay, we're trading at 93. I'll put a stop in, or I'll put a limit in at 9,000. So when we hit 9,000, with a leverage trade of 10 times. If I put 2,000 in, you can see notional value is 0.22. I only have 0.257 Bitcoin. So if I was to do 5,000, you'll notice my notional value is 0.5 of the Bitcoin when I only have 0.25 available. But because I'm leverage trading 10 times, it gives me the opportunity to trade with more than I have, so I can make more money, but I could also lose more money. So consider that it is definitely riskier. That's why they give you different types of leverage trading. Ultimately, I mean, our trades have been fairly profitable every single time. I think there was one trade that I didn't do too well at, but it made up for it with all the other trades that have been profitable. But ultimately, we're anticipating a drop in price. We're just waiting and waiting and waiting now. Eventually, we will see that happen. You can see we're just now starting to form the DDE formation. This is that uncertainty window where things don't really trade out well. You can see the price has pretty much started the week and ended the week back at $9,250 or $9,300. And that is really not a place we're going to make money. It doesn't make sense. The fact that we started and are now ending our, next weekly candle at the price we opened up at a week ago, not much money there. But what it is doing is it's showing a ton of uncertainty. It's showing that we cannot break this resistance at the top here. It's showing that in a day and 12 hours, we're going to most likely see a correction to the downside. We're most definitely going to start to see a break lower. I could say easily we're definitely headed to $7,800. I think the bear market is just beginning, and I do think we're going to fall all the way to the middle moving average right here as we retest this, and then I do think we're going to head even lower than that. Now, ultimately, with the other cryptos like XRP, I do believe they're going to follow the same, the same pattern. So if we see Bitcoin drop, which I really do think it is, I think it's going to happen to XRP too. I think XRP is going to see a drop as well. Now, all these predictions and all of my specific trades will be on my Patreon in the description down below. We have, I think, over 132 people now. It's pretty high up there. It's a great community. Definitely recommend joining it. Any trades that I have are readily available. I even have the crypto beginners course there, which is pretty awesome as well. But ultimately, with XRP, I do think we're going to see that drop. I do think we're going to fall down to here and trade in sideways into this, gap right here. And then I do think we're going to fall, as will Bitcoin, down and down and down all the way to point E. Ultimately, this is what we're dealing with, a massive symmetrical formation. This is what we're dealing with. I do believe we're going to fall all the way down to 5,600 at some point, or sorry, 59 to 6,000. At some point or another. So you do have to spend quite a bit of attention. I know I focused a little too much on Bitcoin today, but at the moment, this is kind of the information that is readily available. Everything else is stagnant. Market is not moving. We're really not seeing anything at all. It's really not something great that we can make profit off of. But eventually, we're going to see a big spike. We're going to see the volume end up probably dropping. You can see we've done it before. We're starting to slowly break out of the Ethereum uptrend, and this is probably going to send the coin down to $200 too. So otherwise, guys, if you're new to the channel, definitely make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up. Make sure to enter the giveaway at Crypto Influencers. The influencers giveaway, it's in the description down below. Follow me on Twitter at CryptoVOfficial. Otherwise, I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Peace.